Okay, everybody, we are live on Facebook. I thank everybody for joining us. My name is Jeff Green. I am I guess you could call me the founder of the Green Team. And sorry, a little bit new to Facebook Live, so I'm just dealing with some configuration issues. So we're good to go now. So first, I just want to thank everybody for joining us, and I want to just let everybody know that we're here to talk about market stats, something we talk about internally for our own edification and our own education, but also something that we've thought for a long time we'd like to share with people out there in the community, because we get stopped on the street all the time and people ask us, hey, how's the market doing? So we figured we'd try to do this Facebook Live once a month for everybody, and also provide some other resources that you can tap into should you like to do that. So we're going to focus today mostly on the housing markets in Orange County, New York, and Sussex County, New Jersey, because those are the two markets that we serve most frequently. I want to introduce our panel here. We have some great people with great experience. First and foremost, I'll just work away across my screen. Angela Murphy from Green Team Home Selling System, our Warwick office. Welcome, Angela.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Okay. Pam Zakowski from Green Team New Jersey Realty. Pam, I'll unmute your mic so you can just say hello real quick. I think we might be pushing the mic at the same time. Hold on. There you are, Pam. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Okay. And Terry Gavin. Terry Gavin is a realtor in our Warwick office. Welcome, Terry.
Happy spring.
Thank you very much. And we have our marketing director, Melissa Brissett, to just ask some interesting questions. She's a great analytical mind. I figure that she can provide some good insight. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to share my screen here so that everybody can see stats. We're going to start from the north and we're going to work our way down south. So there's a few key indicators that we look at all the time on our business review meetings that we do each month. And one of these are all of them right here that we're showing you. So the first one is homes that sold at 100% or more of the last asking price. And, you know, Murph and Gavin, you guys can feel free to jump right in and chime in if you want, because these are your stats that we're talking about here. So essentially what this is showing us is how many homes sell for more than the asking price. And obviously, the higher the number, the hotter the market. And you can see year over year trends. You know, the red line is the current year, the blue line is last year, so on and so forth. You know, it's rising, which indicates a hotter market. The next one, this is the all-important analytic in my mind. This is units sold. How many units are actually selling in the marketplace? To me, this is the mother's milk of everything. The more volume is taking place, the less, you know, inventory there is long term, the higher the demand for housing could be. It ultimately pushes prices. So this is, you know, something that I look at very closely. And I think that for me, the takeaway, just initially looking at this right away, is just continual increases for the month of January. We have a little bit of a log jam there in February, but I just think that that's not a big deal at all. I think we're going to see definitely the red line continue to be above consistently the blue line of last year. Just from a historical perspective, just to give everybody this, last year's numbers in 2017 were at or above 2008, 2008, and maybe even closing in on 2007, which was really the tail end of the big boom that we had in our area. There are areas around the country that are higher than, in terms of units sold and average pricing, higher than the boom in 2005, 2006. So it's a healthy marketplace right now. Angela, you obviously are in the market day to day, listing and selling homes. You're experiencing a good, strong market out there with low inventory, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Well, from what I hear agents talk about, probably the biggest problem out there right now is just lack of inventory, lack of
inventory. Yes.
Is that fair to say?
That is, absolutely.
Okay.
And there are plenty of buyers out there.
Yeah, plenty of buyers, not enough sellers willing to sell. And I think that another trend that I've just hear, I'm not listing and selling homes personally myself right now. But just from the troops on the ground, what I hear is not a lot of buyers really want to do renovation work to homes. I think that's been a good opportunity for investors to come in and fix homes up and flip them, try to make money that way.
Yes,
Is that fair to say?
that is absolutely fair.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
Angela, are you having any clients ask questions about interest rates? There's stuff in the news, it talks about possibly going up.
Well, the little jump that it did go a few months ago, they were concerned about, but once they actually hear the packages, once they speak to a banker or one of the brokers, that really settles their mind. So
Okay.
it really has relieved them. They handle them very well, the brokers to the buyers. So I have not had a problem with that. The question has been asked, though. Yes.
So it's probably good for agents to educate themselves on interest rates, have good connections with mortgage lenders so they can kind of talk to that. And then also, have your clients have somebody that you trust that you can send them to talk to as well.
That is correct. And that has worked beautifully. I mean, I do educate myself, but some of these buyers are educated as they come in. So they have very specific questions, and I can answer it to a certain degree, and then I will always refer them to the professional.
Right.
And they really seem satisfied. I mean, I've had very good results with that.
Awesome.
I think that there's no question. I mean, historically, when rates increase, the intensity of buyers to want to get in increases as well, and the market usually bumps. So I don't think that there's any question that there's going to be that pressure. But I guess to your point, Murph, once they get into the details and talk with a professional and realize that, wow, the rates are actually still pretty low, it's still a very affordable situation. That's been my whole thing with a lot of this. We're about to see the numbers on average home price, and you would think that with so many years of increase in the number of units sold, you would think that you'd see at least a few years of price increase, but it's just not the case.
No.
So it's still a very affordable time to buy, despite the fact that there is no inventory. It's not like prices have actually jumped back.
That is correct. And usually if it's priced correctly, it really is falling between, I find, a 10 to 15,000 spectrum there from asking price to where it's sold. So that's always something I advise to my sellers.
Okay.
And show them I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, finish.
And show them the stats on that, at what the comps that have been selling, not the active, but the actual sold and the comparison.
Right. Terry, I don't know if we cut you off there. Were you going to chime in and say something? Okay. Let's keep moving along here. So back to Orange County. Let's just finish off the Orange County numbers. Here's the average price number, right? This is just what we were talking about right here. Let me try to zoom this in a little bit. Hopefully I don't mess something up. Hang on a second here. Here we go. This has been a conundrum in my mind. It's just remarkable to me to see that, average price has been what it's been. Now, clearly a good jump, right? Coming out of 2018. But when you look at how long it took, how many years, I mean, you saw the units sold increase consistently all the way back from 2014, but price didn't. Didn't really start to come back until arguably, I would say, July of last year. I think there was a noticeable change in pricing. We all felt, late spring, summertime last year. So this is good. Prices are coming up, which in my opinion is a very positive thing, because I still feel like there are a lot of sellers hung over from the crazy time that we had with the downturn, right? And a lot of people refied, pulled cash out of their homes during the boom, and the prices went down. They couldn't get out. So some of them had to get out, couldn't afford it, did short sales, got foreclosed on, that sort of thing. But I believe that there's also still quite a few sellers out there who are financially well-heeled, who have big mortgages on their house and don't necessarily want to pull money out of their pocket to get out of it, and are just patiently waiting, pushing off their retirement plans longer than they thought they would have, or whatever their change of, home may be. And I think as prices come back up, I think we might see more inventory unlocked in our local marketplace, because I know for a fact that there's people just waiting for the pricing to come up. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that, what your thoughts are there. Okay, so we'll move along. All right, so let's get into Sussex County, see what's going on over there. Sold to ask ratio, this is one that we didn't look at on the New York side. I'm sorry, I skipped over it, but it's there. Actually, hold on a second, real quick, for those who are watching. So we have this video we're doing each month, this Facebook Live event. We're also going to connect you in a couple other ways. If you go to our website very quickly, right on our homepage, you can just scroll down to this section right here, How's the Market? And you can just sign up for a free newsletter for a monthly stat report. Basically, a lot of the information that we're talking about here condensed into a single email. You can get that. Another good place to go to is up in News and Advice. We have a housing market news section, which is just filled with a backlog of information. So if you wanted to see what happened for the year as a whole, the market review on a national basis, on a regional basis for Orange County, New York, we create blog posts for each of those. And as you can see, those posts have the charts that we're looking at today in them. And then one other resource that you can use is the Green Team HQ Facebook page, which is where we're launching this Facebook Live campaign from. If you just like this page, you will be able to get it right into your news feed on Facebook, and you'll get automatic notifications of everything that we have going on relating to the market updates. Okay, so let's go back into Sussex County here. So ask to sold ratio. Murph, pop quiz. This ratio determines what? Ask to sold ratio. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. I'm going to help you a little bit here.
I can't see because I'm on my phone right now.
You got a small little screen. All right. So bad question because you can't see it. I'll explain it. So
what was the question?
What does average sold to asked ratio determine? It determines how high a sale occurred to the last asking price, right? So the home that just sold down the street, how close to its asking price did it sell? That's a key number for a seller to know, especially when we're giving them a local comparative market analysis so that they can understand what the homes around them about, on average, how much they had to negotiate off the price. So again, this analytic, the higher it is, the better the market, right? So you can see that this continues to rise. That means that more homes are selling closer to asking price than others. Here's one, again, homes that sold at 100% or more of the last asking price. This is in Sussex County. This just, again, shows how many are selling above the asking price. Pretty straightforward, right? The higher, the hotter the market. You can see it's rising quickly. Units sold, Sussex County, very similar to what you saw in Orange County. I mean, the lines look very, very similar. But again, up 5 years in a row, up. So this is good numbers. And you can see just from a raw number perspective, I think this is interesting down here on this chart down here. Look at this. The total year of 2014, there were only 1,700 homes sold in all of Sussex County. And last year in 2017, almost double that number sold in a 12-month period of time. So that really just goes to show you how far the market really has come. It's you see these little increases in the lines, but what you're not realizing is it's adding up to a major increase. So there's a lot going on in both Orange and Sussex County. If we were to roll back to those Orange County stats, which we're not going to do for the sake of time, you would see a very similar thing, almost double the amount of transactions from 14 to 17. Average days on market. This is an inverse relationship, right? The lower, the hotter from a seller's perspective. So lower days on market. You can see that, it was almost double the days on market in 14 as to what it is now in 18. And you're seeing it, right? Pam, down there in Jersey? I mean,
Yeah,
a home
things
comes
are,
on the market.
if my buyers don't work, if my buyers don't act quickly, they've been losing houses.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I mean, you've got to have it teed up, ready to go. They really can't afford to snooze, you know. And if they do, they're just going to lose the house. And you know, and as you go further south towards the city, and you go to some of these, you know, shoreline areas where real estate is just super, super hot. I mean, there's sometimes 40, 50 bids on a single house. You know, so it's hard to get a house because of an inventory problem right now, shortage problem. So, all right, keeping going here. So here's the average price. Now, again, this is just remarkable, right? I mean, in Orange County, we saw that average price was up in January and February over all of the other years for the first time in a long time in the first 2 months of the year. In Sussex County, we're seeing just the opposite. It's still below every other year than all other years. And if you look at the blue line, which is last year, you know, I mean, you got to say to yourself, well, prices are arguably still declining. So Pam, what do you attribute that to? I mean, you're truly a local expert down there in Sussex County. What do you attribute that to? I have my own thoughts. But I want to hear yours.
I think it is because there's still a lot of foreclosures on the market that are kind of in the process of getting investors to flip them and make them better, but it's this long going on process, and it's unfortunate, but I think that's what the problem is. And I think people see these prices of these foreclosures and think, well, this house is that much, why can't I buy this house that's turnkey for that much? And
Right.
they kind of nickel and dime.
Right. So I agree. I think what's happening down in Sussex County is that there was a tremendous amount of pre-foreclosure and foreclosure inventory down there that just, I think the boom hit Sussex County very hard. It hit Orange County very hard too, but it really hit Sussex hard. And there's just a lot of low priced homes still selling. And, you know, the banks are starting to unleash more and more inventory into the marketplace. They've been holding for years because they didn't want to take a bath on their assets. So now they're starting to unleash these things little by little. So you have lots of little sales going on down there because of the current state of the foreclosure market. So I think we all agree on that one. And, you know, so those are it. Those are the stats. Does anybody else have anything else they want to add real quick? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So one last time, for those of you who may have joined us late or maybe are just watching the tail end of this video, in addition to the meeting that we went through, we have 3 additional resources for you to stay in tune with in terms of statistics and housing market information, so on and so forth. Our website is the first place. You can go to our news and advice section right here, Housing Market News. You'll find all sorts of really good stuff that we're constantly updating and posting. The other thing that you can do is just go to our home screen, homepage, and scroll down to the local market update section. Just put in your name and your email address, click submit. That'll put you on our monthly market update email, all right, which will give you a digest once a month. We do not spam people. We don't create, you know, we don't allow third-party content to come into any of our systems, email systems. We authentically create all of our content ourselves. The last thing we want you to do is to shut us off. We want you to let us into your world. So we always try to create good quality information. And then the third place that you could connect with stat information is on our Green Team HQ Facebook page. We have multiple Facebook pages, one for each office, New York and New Jersey, but we also have an HQ page. And that's where we're disseminating all of our market housing information, stuff like that. All right, so unless anybody else has anything to say, I think we'll end our meeting right now. Does anybody else have any final thoughts they want to put out there? All right, well, I wish all of the troops on the ground, both Green Team as well as realtors and other companies, the best of luck in the selling season. It is busy out there. There's a lot to do. Go get it. And good luck for everybody. And let's sell more houses. Let's move the economy, and let's get the pricing up so everybody can make more money. All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bye.